Get off that exhausting hamster wheel and into balanced living with Dr. Marissa.
Promise you joy in the mystery.
Dr. Marissa, also known as the Asian Oprah. Her mission, to be a beneficial presence on the planet. Her purpose, to be your personal advocate to live, laugh, love, learn. Her life motto, don't die wondering. Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pay.
And welcome. You're tuned in to Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA, NBC News, CNBC News, NBC Sports Radio Station, AM 1050, FM 106.5, and streaming everywhere. iHeartRadio, Spotify, iTunes, TuneIn, Audible, Amazon Music, Tiki Live Rumble, Podchaser, Streaker, Spreaker, and many, many more. Why so many places? Because I want to maximize my splatter zone for more hope and happiness, because there's just so much bad news out there, also known as the headlines. So if you're wanting the headlines, you ain't going to get it here. You're going to get heart lines, because I want to balance out all of that negative, if it bleeds, it leads news with good news and good people and great topics. And I've been doing this now for 683 consecutive weeks, 1,403 podcast shows. And y'all know I'm celebrating my 13th year with some repeat fabulous favorite guests, even though they're all my favorites, but I have favorites. And you're looking at her right now. Those of you who didn't miss her first two times on my show, I am so delighted to bring someone who is a pioneer. She's not just a singer, she's an actress, singer. She's a songwriter. She's someone who has taken a group started a long time ago, the Fifth Dimension, to it still is on stage even now. She's the one and only Florence LaRue. Please welcome her back to the studio. Thank you so much for coming back on to celebrate my 13 years, Florence. It's such an honor.
Always good to talk with you. And congratulations. Wow.
Thank you very much. I know it's hard to believe. I think I was doing podcasts before they started calling them podcasts, which is a long time ago. But I'm so glad you're here. And something that I started, I don't know if you did, I had you do this last time, but we start with breakfast. So y'all get to have breakfast with Florence LaRue and myself. And what that entails is taking a bite of my gratitude sandwich. So the top of the bun is, what are you grateful for that's outside of yourself? And the bottom of the bun that we're going to model for you, that you do tonight before you go to bed, is, what are you grateful for inside of yourself? And I love the fact that even if you're not feeling good right now, by the time you finish breakfast, you're going to feel good, because that is how simple you can turn your life into something you actually enjoy. So we're going to take a bite of that gratitude sandwich. I'm going to start with one of my favorite gratitudes, which is the taste of my morning coffee. I am so grateful that I have the means to wake up and have the ability to make my own coffee. And then the taste, hold on. I call it one with my coffee and the deliciousness of life. So that's what I'm grateful for. Florence, what are you grateful for?
Oh, doctor, there's so many things I'm grateful for. But outside of myself, I guess I would say, in this world where so many people are frightened and so many things are going on, I'm grateful that I live in the U.S. and that there's so many wonderful people here. Unfortunately, you don't hear about them as much as you do about all the problems and the other people that are causing them. So I'm grateful for friends.
Yes, absolutely. I'm going to do a little story right now to tell everybody that you are on live on Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa. And there she is. She is the founder of Up, Up and Away. And oh, my favorite is When the Moon
Wait,
is in the Seventh Sun.
oh,
Yay. It's so amazing. Wait, uh 14 gold records, 6 platinum records, 6 Grammy Awards, still performing at the age of 80, young age of 81,
hey,
still with aspirations. We're gonna I have actually news here. I'm grateful that I found out that Ricky Rebel, who is a musician that was signed by Michael Jackson and went on tour with Madonna, tour with Britney Spears, signed by Madonna as well. He said that your music also has influenced him.
oh,
And remember last time you were here, that's what you wanted to know and wanted to connect. So I just delivered a little surprise for you because I don't think you know how influential you and your music has been on the world. So I want to give you some kudos. You're like a little bit like me, a little bit of an overachiever, a little bit of a recovering perfectionist. And sometimes you're focused on what you haven't done as what you still want to do versus celebrating all that you have accomplished, Florence.
I,
So I want that moment to appreciate and be grateful that I have a guest who is as recognized and such a major player in the music industry.
well,
And that is what I am grateful for.
oh, I'm just grateful that the Lord has put people like you into my life.
Mm.
Inspires me. You know, sometimes you're doing something and you don't know quite how it's affecting people. You're hoping, oh, I hope I can, please somebody. But then people come and tell you how you've inspired them. Then you say, well, thank you, Lord, that I'm carrying out what you've destined me to do.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think that is I'm going to say I'm grateful that uh, we have in America, especially I think the music industry, and especially Black artists who brought an entire genre and I mean the dominant contribution.
Right. It's interesting because music has really influenced me because I like almost all types of music. Sometimes if I'm feeling low, I really love listening to Christian music. It really just lifts me up. And as an ex-violinist, I really like classical music. When I want to have some fun, I like listening to country music.
Yeah, my two favorite country song titles are "You Are the Reason My Kids Are So Ugly" and "She Got the Ring and I Got the Finger."
Oh, one of my favorites is "Here's Water, Call Somebody Who Cares."
That's perfect.
But
That's perfect.
there are a lot of positive, really good positive country songs, but a lot of them I do have the double entendre.
Absolutely. And I didn't know you played violin.
Oh well, that was over 60 years ago when I was in elementary school, and I really, really enjoy going to the theater and hearing classical music and I also studied ballet, so I was very classical minded when I was younger. And
You're a you're a true multi hyphenate. Did you know? Did you have your? I just learned that term like a month ago.
I haven't heard it.
Yeah, you are. So multi hyphenate is someone who excels at more than one thing.
As a teacher, I should know that.
I think it's a term that somebody young came up with lately. And
Oh,
when they first called me that, I thought that was, I'm like, is that a good thing or a bad thing? But I'm so grateful that we live in a country, going off what you said earlier, where we can be a multi hyphenate. And that word, or sorry, that phrase, jack of all trades and master of none, that's bullshit talky. And I
right.
hate that expression because it keeps people doing things that they don't enjoy in life, in at work, in a job they don't like. And you only have one life that we know of, unless you're Shirley MacLaine, and you don't get to do over yesterday or 10 years ago. So why not try doing other things before you die?
And
I mean,
excel in more than one thing. For instance, you can have a successful career and be a good parent. So there are many things that you can excel in.
exactly, exactly. Um, I am grateful that uh, I got to spend 2 weeks with my mom before she passed last Thursday, to sit with her and hold her hand and tell her that I know that she did the very best that she could, to love me in the best way she knew how. And all of that remaining resentment that I felt, most of it I got rid of 16 years ago when I started, at Agape and
Mhm.
Design for Living, where I could, forgive, but there was still a little bit. And I'm so grateful that I got to let that go before she passed.
I know exactly how you feel because I slept in my mother's hospital room the last 3 days of her life. And, when I was younger, I said, oh, my mother is just me, at times. And now almost every day, I thank God, oh, thank goodness she taught me this. Thank goodness she taught me that. Many, many times parents are teaching children things and they don't realize how important they are or really appreciate it until we're older and we look back and say, oh, thanks, Mom. I'm glad you did that.
Absolutely. Yeah, me playing the piano,
Uh-huh.
how many years of you can't get up off of that until you finish your practice, and I would, oh god. But I'm grateful now, right?
Yes.
Because I can sit down and every time I see a grand piano, it's calling my name. So I'm grateful for
And I'm
that.
sure you get, the more things will come out like that. You'll recognize.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much for those words. All right, let's go to the bottom of the bun, which is, what do you like about yourself? So, what are you grateful for that is you? And this is not an easy thing because many of us are raised being told, don't toot your own horn. You're not all that. Who do you think you are? And a lot of correction. And so, many of us grow up looking for approval and love in all the wrong places.
Right.
And I'm a huge believer. My BS, my belief system is that good mental health starts with the foundation of self love, self care, self identification on what you are good at, so that you're less likely to walk around with little antenna saying, who likes me? Right? Who likes me? And with social media, with all those stupid numbers, it's even worse, right? Because you have this desire to make people happy even more so than you should. Because frankly, my dear, if you can't approve of yourself, how the fork do you expect anyone else to approve of you?
Right.
So that's why we do the bottom of the bun. And I'm going to say that I like my ability to, my middle name is No Fear. And, um, I'm grateful I get to go back on tour now that my mom has passed. I'm a month in Canada. August will be Africa. September will be Hawaii. October will be back here. in California. November will be Shanghai. December will be
Oh
Taiwan.
my goodness. I
and and I am so appreciative that I have developed that level of, trust in a universe that's friendly, that everything is going to unfold perfectly and I don't have to worry about anything, because worry is like a prayer for bad things to happen. That's a Native American saying. So I appreciate that about myself. Florence, what do you like about yourself?
Well, finally at 83, there's
Mm.
what I like about my one thing I particularly like and have realized recently is that I have the peace of knowing that there's nobody that I hate. For the first time in my life, I can say that nobody that I'm angry with, because I've learned to understand where people are coming from, why they act the way they act. And I also have a gift of being very nurturing and teaching. I do have a teaching credential, but I enjoy teaching and sharing any knowledge I have with other people, which is one reason that I wrote my book, Grace in Your Second Act, to help seniors who, like you said, many times people don't like that. For a long time, I didn't like myself, because I thought of all the things that were wrong, all the things that I've done in the past, instead of knowing that, God died for us, forgive. Jesus forgives our sins. We have to forgive ourselves and to forgive each other. And as a matter of fact, I have a couple family members that I have to remember not to get involved in, but to pray for, because they're angry with each other. And I love them both, and they both love me. So I have to. It's hard for me to say, look, you need to just forgive him. You need to just forgive her, but instead just say, Lord, I pray for them that they'll forgive each other and enjoy each other, because usually if you're angry with someone, you're the one that ends up hurting, and sometimes they don't even know. I know there's a gentleman that years ago said something that hurt my feelings, and for the longest time I was angry with him. I mean, for years. Finally one day, within the last couple of years, I had him and his wife over for lunch, and I told him how hurt I was. He said, "What? I don't even remember that. At that time, I was an alcoholic, and all the
Oh.
I was angry and hurting, and he had since, overcome his alcoholic problem, and didn't even remember saying or doing it. So you see, as I said, sometimes when you're angry with people, you're the one that ends up hurting."
Absolutely. Yeah, it's like that saying, resentment is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. Well,
Right?
my version of that is, I don't want to look at you because I hate you so much that I'm going to poke out my own eye so I
Oh,
don't have to look at you anymore, which is like silly. But if you're
right.
wondering what's going on in studio today, I'm so blessed and delighted to have the founder and still performing Fifth Dimension. That is just incredible. If you remember Aquarius and I mean, up and away. Obviously, those are two of my favorite, but there's so many more. Your discography is incredible. The fact that you're 83 and still performing, and this beautiful book called Grace in Your Second Act. If you haven't got it, pick it up. It is her everything secrets, right? And you can tell she doesn't look 83, she doesn't act 83, she doesn't sound 83, because my BS, my belief system is that people like you that I collect who keep and stay young because of their attitude, because of the choices of what BS that they have, what belief systems. And you just heard from him. She has no hate in her life, and she released and understands why people do what they do so that she doesn't have to be angry. And that's the secret sauce right there. Florence LaRue is in studio today helping me celebrate 13 years. So go pick up the book. And
And
what
some,
else can we
some
go ahead?
I'd like to add that people are always trying to stay young. Why? You know, fine wine is better as it ages. I say stay youthful. There's a difference in trying to be young. You see older women wearing tons of makeup and clothes that teenagers wear, and they look ridiculous. Many women come up to me and say, "Oh, I hope I look like you when I'm your age." I said, "No, no, no. You don't want to look like me. Be the best you that you can be." All flowers look like roses, but we have all different kinds of flowers in the garden. So be yourself, be the best you that you can be.
Wow, we're just getting way more than just an interview with the Fifth Dimension founder, Florence LaRue, who is giving us beautiful life nuggets that are, I'm sure, all in that book that you can get and take her home with you. So please do that. We're almost done breakfast. Let's do one more thing that you like about yourself. And I'll do one too, and then we can talk about your music and anything else we get to talk about. I like that I love to laugh. My
too.
favorite sound on the planet, and I've been doing stand-up. You don't know this since the last time we talked.
Right.
I was at Yuck Yucks in Toronto, where Jim Carrey and Howie Mandel got their start, big stage there. So I'll be performing since I'm going back. They invited me, whenever I go back. So I get to do that. And when I'm on tour, not only will I be speaking about 8 Ways to Happiness, my best-selling book, but I'll also be teaching Tai Chi, which is my moving meditation that promotes inner peace, one breath at a time.
Yes.
And then I'll be doing stand-up as well. And I'll be writing and finishing up my screenplay called Life by a Thousand Cuts. So I appreciate my ability to laugh out loud at myself and really, I love my life. I'm so grateful. So grateful.
That's wonderful.
And what do you like about yourself?
One thing I like about myself is the fact that I'm not religious, because, there's a difference in being religious and being spiritual. There's a saying, God likes spiritual fruits, not religious nuts. And sometimes you have to be careful, especially when we get excited about God, which is wonderful, but we have to be careful how to respect other people and how we not to be offensive because I used to be, oh, no, you should be going to church. You should be. Instead of that, I try to live the life, share it with people so that they can see how God has blessed me. So as I said, I'm trying not to be a religious nut, but a spiritual fruit.
I have a feeling we're going to be spending a lot more time together because I'm also allergic to religion. And I follow the saying, religion is for people who want to avoid going to hell. And spirituality is for those of us who've already been there. And I absolutely know. Oh, I think she got a phone call. So hopefully she'll find her way back. But I'm so glad that we get to finish off breakfast with Florence LaRue. And hopefully we'll get her back. But I know we'll get her back. But we'll just use this time to take a quick break for station ID for Take My Advice, I'm Not Using a Gift Balance with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA, the station that leaves no listener behind. We'll be right back in 2 and 2. Peace in, peace out.
Well, she has been dubbed the Asian Oprah, and she just wants all of us to be happy.
Dr. Marissa, aka the Asian Oprah, says the most important thing you can choose is choosing to be happy.
You are tuned into my weekly talk radio TV show called Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa.
That's the idea for Dr. Marissa Pay's new book called 8 Ways to Be Happy.
Many of us say, I am my own worst critic. Nobody's harder on me than I am. And my response to that is, stop it! Why are you doing that to yourself? You have to be your biggest fan, because if you can't at the end of the day say, I did a good job, who is? We don't have to constantly be angry at the things that are wrong. Why don't we choose to be happy about things that are right? We have the choice. That's our muscle. And life is so amazing if we can see it.
Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pay.
And we're back. You're tuned in to Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA, NBC News Radio, home to the Asian Oprah and number one talk in the IE. Thank you very much. And streaming everywhere, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and of course my YouTube TV channel, where if you free subscribe, you will get an alert every weekday morning so that you can tune into the show about hope and happiness, celebrating 13 years, 683 consecutive weeks, 1,403 podcast shows. But who's counting? With some fabulous guests you just heard for the first half of the show. Miss Florence LaRue, who is 83 years young, the founder of the Fifth Dimension, and still, performing and just blessing us. She has a book out that we talked about earlier. You'll have to go pick that up. It is really a great. It helps you chocked full with ideas on how to stay young and also how to live a life of grace in your second act. And she got a phone call. We were kind of hoping that didn't happen. And so she's trying to get back in. And we'll see. I thought she...
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but I don't see you. Did you click that link?
Yes, I did. I could see myself.
Oh, you can, because I can't see you. So you're in a different link. Let me send you that link one more time and hit that, okay?
Okay.
For 83, she's definitely great with technology. For 83 because it is, and this is the thing, like, people make fun of the older generation technology, but it's kind of like a muscle. If you are not brought up with it, and it may seem very simple to you, and you say, touch this, click that, do this, do that, it's like, I know I have to, I don't have the P word in my vocabulary, in my dictionary, patience, but it really is a skill, kind of like the same reason why in accents, some people have, like Asians and R's, like, why can't you say that? It's because your tongue doesn't know how to do that if you don't practice that when you're young. So that is definitely one of the reasons why. And we're still having some issues. Thank you for that free subscribe and thumbs up and giving me the finger, not that one. We're trying to get Florence LaRue back on here. We had her for the whole first half, which is great. But for some reason now, Still don't see you. Can you hit the blue box? And we'll see if we can't get her in here. But I have 2 other interviews with her that I am so grateful to have had. And yeah, I'm going to actually do something on my end, just in case it's on my end. So please don't go away. We'll be right back with Florence LaRue from the Fifth Dimension. All righty. That was me. Now, let's see if we can't get her back. Florence LaRue, who is the founder and if we can't, we'll just do something else here. No, I don't see you in my studio. So that link that you pressed when you first came on in the morning, that's not working for you. So can you go back out and come back in like you did before the show started?
That's what I did.
Okay. And the link that I gave you just now, you press that the same way you did before?
Yes.
So we have a
so
Mr.
sorry.
That's okay. We got a good half an hour in there, but I don't want to give up trying. So let's see, what else can we do? Something happened when that phone call came in, and I think it hijacked the channel. So let's see, what can we do? Can you turn your phone off and then turn it back on?
Okay.
And then hit that link in the chat with you.
Okay.
Okay? All right. And while she is doing that, let's see, what can I do to entertain you? Well, I definitely can't sing her stuff because it's so amazing. But I think that those of you who are younger and maybe don't know the Fifth Dimension music, I didn't realize that she has 6 Grammys, 14 gold records, 6 platinum records. And what's your favorite Fifth Dimension song? And if you're a musician listening, she wanted to know what young musicians are influenced by the Fifth Dimension. So that is what I would like you to do in the chat. And I'm also going to pull up my last interview with her so that you can get a flavor and before we go back and look at before she gets back on the studio link. So let's see, Florence LaRue. And all right, this was the live show, and I'm just going to play and 2. Learning of the age of Aquarius.
All right.
Yeah,
It might,
so
it might be the 6th dimension if you keep singing
And they
like
can
that.
hear the whole song on Friday night at the Savant Theater in Beverly Hills.
I am giving away. Dana was so kind. He's one of my show sponsors. So I'm so delighted to actually have you as a guest before the show. And I'm giving away 8 pairs of tickets today. So through this whole interview this morning, I will let you know how to get those tickets. So keep it tuned here. If you're driving right now on my AM 1050 FM 106.5 channel, please do not go and start typing in comments. But I do want you, when you land, to be able to come to my YouTube channel where we are streaming live, Facebook and LinkedIn, and you can go ahead and put your comments and questions there. A shout out to one of my longtime supporters. He is saying good morning from Riverside. All right, now that's it for the beginning. Let's go to the beginning of the fifth dimension. Florence LaRue, did you know as a child that this is what you would be doing, what you would have under your belt? So many things: Grammy, star, just memorable top hits, albums, diamond, all of that. Did you have any idea that this is what God had planned for you?
Dr. I had no idea. I didn't even want to be in the group when they asked me, because when I was a child, I wanted to do two things. I wanted to teach because I had a wonderful fifth grade teacher, Miss Stover, who I love, and I wanted to be an actress and be in the movies. Those are the two things that I wanted to do. I was blessed to get my teaching credential, and I have some experience with student teaching, and I'm still looking forward to doing a movie.
I can see it for sure.
I
sure.
not wanting to be in the group, because what happened was the way I got into the group, I came from a very small town in Pennsylvania and to California to go to college, and I didn't know how to get into the movies. So friends entered me into beauty contests, hoping to be discovered for the movies. I was blessed to win quite a few. I was Miss Valverde, Miss Coppertone, Miss this, Miss that. But the year I was in the Miss Bronze California contest, I won the talent. And a gentleman came up to me and said, I have and one of the girls left because nothing is happening. Would you join us? I said, no. First of all, I'm not a singer. I'm in my last year of college. I'm working full time. I don't have time to come to. He bugged me, and that was Lamont McLemore, and that's how I joined the Fifth Dimension.
Wow, interesting. So you've got beauty contest stuff going on as well. That's awesome. That is awesome. So what would you say the moment that you did feel like, okay, this is what I'm supposed to do? When did that sort of come in? Was it a slow burn to there, or did you have a moment?
No, it was a slow burn. We began rehearsing, and I thought, oh, something could happen with this group. People often ask me if I would have joined the group, did I think that we would have the success that we did? No, I didn't know we would be as successful as we were, but I would not have joined if I didn't think the group would be successful, because who wants to be a part of, something that's not going to work? But
Right.
It was a real blessing to become a part of the group, and I've learned so much over the years, and I do look forward to an acting career in the future. I starred in a couple of plays, and I also did some television work, but I'm looking forward to doing that movie. Maybe I'll be somebody's great grandma.
Well, I just had Michael Learned on the show, and she was the mom in the Waltons,
right?
And then she just is the grandmother of Jeffrey Dahmer in the Netflix Jeffrey Dahmer special, and they just crossed 1 billion views. So I see it as a huge possibility. I would love to see someone write a screenplay and pitch it for you and the Fifth Dimensions. I think that is a story that people would really be interested in. And the preview, of course, is my show now.
Yeah. I like to tell people, the reason I tell my age, want to tell people, men and women, especially women, it's never too late to follow your dreams. Don't give up. We give up so easily, but it's never too late.
Yeah.
That's right. That is right.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Sydney, did you have any idea that you were going to end up being the newest member of the Fifth Dimensions?
No. My mother, who was like an internationally awarded supported principal, educator. She was fantastic. Her creed in life was to say yes to everything. And she went on to the Lord just 3 years ago when she was
Oh,
96.
wow.
Um, I had no idea. When I was young, I thought I did my first solo in church at 11. Bellevue Community Church, still there, still going strong. In fact, I'll be there. I'll be singing there this Sunday.
Huh.
Um, and the response was overwhelming. You know, for an 11-year-old, it never had any kind of attention like that. So that's what got me thinking. And then I went through high school and college and vocal scholarships, singing classical music, and then I discovered jazz. But life interceded with kids and trying to make a living. And so that's what prompted me to go back to school and get my degrees in psychology. With the fifth dimension, however, it came out of the blue. I was actually working on an album in a studio. Ron, who Florence referenced as the music director of the group, was looking for another singer. He called the engineer of the studio that I was working at, and the engineer said, "No, I got your guy." And so that's when I went into audition just on a whim, you know, with no thought that this would come to pass. But I grew up with this music. My brother and sister were 10 and 11 years older than me. And I absolutely grew up with all of the Fifth Dimension, all of Motown, all of the music of the 70s and the late 60s. And so it's just one of those things that happens in life. But it happened because I made myself available to it. And I've kept working at my craft, even though I was, you know, employed doing something else as a living.
Wonderful. Well, I made a point of the jazz guy because that's my favorite music, and I
Yes.
have been so blessed to have Arturo Sandoval as a
Oh,
guest
yeah.
on my show.
Yes.
Keiko Matsui, 4 times
Yes.
on my show, and she's my twin sister. We found out through the course of our relationship. Now, first meeting her at the Long Beach Jazz Festival, and they always play that commercial with me dancing in it. Just saying. But it's always
Yes.
around my birthday weekend in August. And so I have a very beautiful place. I'm a retired lounge lizard, but I did sing at Spaghettini's once
Wow.
before Najee. And Najee told me that I had a voice of a dove. I think he said. I didn't know doves sing,
My.
but it was when doves. At least he didn't say when doves cry. But
Right.
but I do love to sing, and I do love the fact that you're into jazz. I just love jazz so much. So yay. Now the first hit I read, and see if I got this right, because who knows, like you said, Florence, there's a lot of misinformation out there, but in 1967 you recorded Go Where You Want to Go, which became a breakthrough hit. The
Right.
group followed this with Up, Up and Away. I thought Up and Away was after Aquarius, but I found out
No.
it was before, reached number
Right.
7 later
Mhm.
that same year, and went on to win 5 Grammy Awards.
Yeah.
The success broke wide open with Aquarius, Let the Sunshine In, from the musical Hair, topping the Hot 100 for 6 straight weeks in April and May. And it was the biggest hit single for 1969. Like that is, I mean, people, try their entire lives to have something like that happen. So what do you think prepared or sort of gave you that entree? What do you think the secret sauce was?
Actually, listening to our record producer, because a lot of the songs the Fifth Dimension recorded, we would not have heard, because back then Motown was very popular. So in our rehearsals, we were singing, you gotta smile so bright, all the Motown songs. And our manager was brilliant, Mark Gordon. He recognized the fact that we didn't have those types of voices. So why not do music that fit our voices instead of trying to do something that, was not us. So he introduced us to Bones Howe. Bones brought us all kinds of music. He brought us one that spell most of our.
Can you hear me now?
Yay! I can hear you now. I'm so excited.
Oh goodness.
Hey, where there's a will, there is a way. And I am just so delighted we have back with us. Well, I never had not had you. I just had you from a former interview playing there, and it was wonderful. When you re-listen to something, it's great because you catch something that you missed the first time. And when I had you and Sydney on, and I did my when the moon, right? And he goes, it's going to be the sixth dimension. I'm like, I missed that. That's so awesome. Florence LaRue, folks. And we have just less than 8 minutes left. And I'm just going to stop talking and I'm going to let you say anything you want. We had a great first half of the show. And what do you think people who are not happy and don't know how to get out of that?
Wow, that's a good question. A lot of it is spirituality, not religion, but spirituality. And a lot of it is also very selfish, if I may say that, because they're so concerned with their own happiness and their own health that they don't think about other people. If you do something for someone else, it makes you feel good. And sometimes you don't even realize why you're feeling so good. But if you say help someone, an older person across the street, or buy a homeless person a meal, that makes you feel good. So if we stop, that's better than sitting up saying, oh well, gee, I wish I had a bigger house, or I wish I had more money, and wish I had this, wish I had that. Well, if you want those things, work toward them. You don't have to deny yourself, but at the same time, share what you have with someone else.
Absolutely. Get out of yourself.
Yes.
Because if yourself isn't a kind place to be, then I used to say my mind is like a dangerous neighborhood. You don't want to go in there alone.
Right. And I can say this because I've been there. I've done that. When you've experienced something, you can understand what other people are doing more. Like if you've been through a divorce, or if you've been through an illness and you've recovered, you can understand when someone else has been through it. Some people say, "Oh, I understand how you feel." No, you don't really know how they feel until you experience that. Then you know how they feel.
That's such an important point. When people say, I know how you feel, it automatically puts a wall because it's like,
Right.
really, you don't know,
Mhm.
And then on the flip side is if you're going through a crappy time, you have that experience that you can now be a role model or a guide or a mentor to someone who's going through that as well. So
Right.
I'm going to delve into personal life only because we're gonna go fishing together at some point. But you've been married? You haven't been married? Okay.
Yes.
Tell me about that.
Well, I've been married. Actually, I've been married 3 times,
Oh.
and divorced 3 times. However, stayed friends with my ex-husbands until they've all passed. But we were friends until the day they died. You know.
Oh.
So, however, even at 83, I'm waiting for the Lord to send me my fourth husband, the right one. I think I got married a little too soon before. But I like being married. I do not like being alone.
Mm.
And God knows this, and He has the right person for me. So I'm very open to that.
Fabulous. And I look forward to helping facilitate that. Even though I'm single and I've been swiping now. I have had like 8,000 swipes and 800 matches, and
Wow.
I've only had 32 first dates, 1 second date, one
Oh,
third date, and 1 fourth date. So it's not working, but maybe I can help you.
oh. Well, I have gone on the dating line. I haven't done that because I really feel that there's someone that God has for me. But what I'm doing is preparing myself so that I'll be ready to be married.
I call it swipe or no swiping. It's time for me to put my finger down. what
Yeah.
what would you like in a guy? And let me go back. The three that you became friends with, you got married early.
Yeah.
I love the how you met stories. So let's go back there. Your first husband.
Was was the father of my son, and also was the manager for the Fifth Dimension. And then my second husband was just a good looking guy that I fell in love with his looks.
That's what I did.
My third husband was a wonderful, probably loved me the most, wonderful, wonderful man who did not work. And um, I lost respect for both of us, but as I said, we remained friends because he was such a nice. But he had many, many problems as a child, and I mean, one of them was his mother gave him away, you know. But I didn't take time to learn to get to know the men that I married. If I was the person I am now, I'd probably still been married to the first man that I married. You know, we have to grow up and mature and really get to know each other and what we need, what we want. You know, there's a book, The Five Love Languages. We need to learn the love language of not only our mate, but of ourselves, what we need. It's an interesting story. There was the first man that broke my heart years ago. Oh, I was so in love with him, and he loved me. And he stopped dating me. We dated for years. Well, I have a phone number that I've kept over the years, and first of all, I saw on the email I kept seeing this name that was the same name as the gentleman that I dated. So finally, one day, I got a phone call, a message. It was him. He said that the reason he stopped dating me was he knew I wanted a career, which he could not handle. He wanted a wife. He still loved me. He had remarried, but his wife had passed, and we've been talking. You know, we're just friends. He sent me roses. He sent me chocolate covered candy. He apologized for breaking my heart. It was really very interesting.
Oh, I want to encourage him. If he's listening right now, I think you can do more than roses and chocolate.
No, he's older, not well. You know, so we're just friends. We talk on the phone, and we're friends now.
Well, I'm going to set the intention for you, Florence, for the short time that I've gotten to know you. Hopefully, we'll continue this because I think there's some things that my experience, and I know that you want to do more speaking. So I do this I do this process from Law of Attraction. Let's do it now. It's really fun. It's
Okay.
called Wouldn't It Be Nice? And while we do this, we're like setting the intention for something that we would like. So you ready?
Yes.
Okay. So I'll say, wouldn't it be nice? And then you finish that for yourself. Okay. So for example, wouldn't it be nice? And then this is me speaking as you. If I got a movie part that showcased my love for acting. Okay. So
Okay.
you're setting that intention out there. Oh, I'm just going to do it for you. Wouldn't it be nice if I met a man who embodied all the best parts of my past marriages and loves and could ride off into the last sunset parts of my life with him? Wouldn't it be nice if I could speak around the world about the key to a happy life, as I have lived and sung and discovered and sort of live out the book, Grace in Your Second Act, and help people who are aging love their lives as if they were young again. Not that they want to be young, but they can actually enjoy their life. So those are my 3 intentions for you.
And wouldn't it be nice if people respected each other and there was truly more love in the world? Not just the country, the world.
Beautiful. You're getting it. And wouldn't it be nice? Do one for me.
Wouldn't it be nice if you found the man of your dreams and he was almost everything you want, because no one is everything. But God will. Wouldn't it be nice if you had the peace to allow God to bring the right man to you at the right time?
Instead of Mr. Right Now.
Right.
Yeah. It's funny because my husband embodied your husband number 2 and 3. So he was very good looking and didn't like to work.
Oh, that doesn't quite work. That's not a partnership.
Absolutely not. Yeah, my wheels are turning. I can think of some people that might, I definitely have a connection. My past co-host, Alon Carter. Oh, she's getting another phone call. Well, we're almost to the end of the show, so we got her back, and I got her to talk about her exes. But yeah. Oh, there you figured it out. Isn't this funny? We attracted this issue around phone calls because I said, let's silence your phone. And then you say, I never get phone calls this early. And what happens? You get 2.
Right.
But I was just saying that I have a connection to Otis Williams and through his daughter, Alon Carter, who he's the founder of the Temptations. So maybe there's a friend in that group that we can do a little fun stuff, because who knows? But I'm so, so grateful that I have had the privilege, the honor, the blessing, and the treat of having Florence LaRue back on my show to celebrate my 13-year anniversary of a show they didn't think that would last a year. Florence, final word before we leave. What would you like to tell all of your beautiful lovers of the Fifth Dimension and Florence LaRue?
Let music soothe your soul.
That is a final word. Thank you so much. This is Dr. Marissa. I hope you enjoyed this fabulous interview once again with Florence LaRue, founder of Fifth Dimension, still performing. Go get her book, Grace in the Second Act. If you know anyone who's single who meets her requirements, also get a hold of me and we'll get in touch with you. If you could put your fingers up for me, Florence. This is how I end every show for the last 683 consecutive weeks. It's all about balance. Peace in, peace out, world peace through inner peace.
God bless you.
God bless you, Florence. Now go and have the best day ever. I'll see you tomorrow. Doctors in the House with Dr. Tiffany Tate and myself. Have the best day ever.
Take back your